Good morning, everyone. Namaskar. I am Dr. Damanjit Kaur, consultant psychiatrist, Faith Hospital, Chandigarh. On the eve of World Suicide Prevention Day, that is September 10th, today, I am here to discuss on a very sensitive topic, that is suicides, and I want to convey a very important message, that is suicides are preventable. In 2003, Indian International Association of Suicide Prevention, along with WHO, had created this day in order to to create awareness and to reduce the stigma associated with suicide in the society. Suicide is a complex behavior which is seen in all forms of societies, all socioeconomic status and walks of life. It is a complex behavior. It is not only the response of the current situation a person is experiencing, but it could be there could be immediate stresses going on in a person's life. For example, a failure in exam or any loss of loved ones, or it could be a chronic ongoing stressor in the life. For example, continuous financial losses in the business. Conceptually, if we see that suicide is a way to escape or to avoid the situation or the psychological pain a person is experiencing, proper psychological intervention at the time of the crisis can help the person in coping up with the situations and thus preventing suicide and connecting the person to a life. According to WHO, World Health Organization, they reported that approximately 8 lakh people die by suicide every year. 77% of suicidality is seen in lower and middle income countries, and approximately 17% of the residents are in India. There is approximately every 40 seconds one life is gone due to suicide. And in India, approximately 381 deaths are reported in a day because of suicide. It is the second leading cause of death after accidents in the age group of 15 to 24 years globally. Some facts I want to discuss. There are myths prevailing in the society related to the suicides. I want to discuss those myths. Number one is that talking about suicide makes a person suicidal. No, it is not that. Rather, it can be opposite. If we talk about suicide or suicidal ideations, we can help a person, he or she can open up with his intentions or thoughts. This does not make a person suicidal. Giving ideas does not make a person suicidal. Second is that the suicidal patients also desperately want to live. We say that they do not want to live, that is why they ended their life, but they also desperately, even severely depressed and severely psychotic patients, they also have a fluctuation of thoughts between wanting to die or wanting to live. So helping they are just don't know how to cope up with the acute situations they are facing off. Thirdly, that it is suicidal patients give warnings about their suicidal intentions or suicidal thoughts. Do not take it lightly. Take every suicidal intention very seriously. It is not only a warning, but it is a cry for help. They also need help, so they give indirect or direct messages about their thoughts and intentions. So, some people become more vulnerable to suicidal ideations and thoughts. There are various risk factors which could be presence of depression, family history of depression and suicide, impulsivity, lack of social support, presence of any substance abuse, especially alcoholism and cannabis being associated with high suicidal rates. Then, what are the warning signs we need to look out for if our near and dear ones are having suicidal ideation? How can we come to know that a person is having suicidal ideations, or he or she is having intentions or thoughts about suicide? So in this, the most important is to help someone at the right juncture and help assist him or her for a seeking help. So this can be done by anyone, me, you, everybody can help and can act as a gatekeeper. So what are the signs a gatekeeper should know about it, so that he or she can help the other person who is experiencing suicidal thoughts? The people who are having suicidal ideations, they generally express in the form of writings or readings about their meaningless life, about hopeless conditions, feeling of entrapment emotionally, or feeling of burden on the others, having excessive form of guilt, expressing about means, arranging of means, or writing of the wills, or giving away the prized possessions to the others, or intentions to die, the wishes to die has been expressed by the people around. They are socially withdrawal present. The person might be sleeping too much or too less, or acting anxiously agitated, or expressing anger on over petty issues. What can a gatekeeper do? Just like CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is done in the patients with cardiac arrest, the person who has stopped breathing, a process is being explained, that is QPR, it has been suggested, which is very simple. It means question, persuade and referral. Thus, it means exploring a person's thought by asking, by questioning the person directly about the suicidal intentions. Thus persuading him or her for taking help, for seeking help, and then giving him or her adequate referral to a qualified mental health professional. It could be a counselor, it could be or a psychiatrist. So what are the cautions you should take while talking to a person who is having suicidal ideations? Number one is, don't just ask and don't be judgmental. Do not pass judgmental statements. For example, don't say that it is a sign of cowardness, because that will increase the intent of suicidal ideations. Do not impose moralities. For example, do not say that this is the wrong thing to do or this is the right. This will add on to the guilt of a person. Do not minimize the situation by saying that it is just a small situation. It is why are you taking such a serious step for such a small issue? It could be serious for the other person. It could not be serious for you. Do not trivialize the situation by saying that you are just being over dramatic or threatening the family members. Every suicidal intent is to be taken seriously. It has been seen that a person before committing suicide has at least 20 suicidal attempts. It could be as many as 20 suicidal attempts before committing suicide. Mental Health Care Act 2017 has also decriminalized suicide, so that it assures adequate medical help to the person. It has been seen that the people who are having suicidal ideations or who has committed suicide, more than 50% has taken help from mental health professional in the past 6 months before committing suicide. So it does not mean that the person who is suicidal cannot be helped, or he or she will commit suicide. They also wanted desperately to live. So they just do not know how to cope up with the situation. They feel entrapped into the emotional entrapment. So the one who are listening to me right now having suicidal ideations, or they are depressed, I just want to tell you that please, this is just a temporary phase of life. It will pass on. Every problem has a solution. Talk to your family, friends, or to the person you rely upon. Talk about your thoughts. If you are having these ideations, take adequate help. Help is there. Mental health professionals are there. You can always contact on online numbers. There are present on internet. Even the government of India has declared helpline numbers. One is Kiran helpline number. You can always contact if you are having suicidal ideations. And lastly, I want to tell that if your near and dear ones are suffering from these ideations or thoughts, just be a good listener. don't be non-argumentative and listen to them seriously, and talk about their past achievements and create hope for the future. International Association of Suicide Prevention has come up with the new three-year theme, which is creating hope through action. That is, to create a social movement of preventative action in which we require the involvement of everyone. It could be the person who has experienced or lived with the suicidal ideations, our civic leaders and influencers, and then us all. In a way, raising awareness and reducing stigma related to the suicides, and having a safe conversation in the society. Thus, every action can connect someone to life and help they want. To prevent suicide, it requires us to become a beacon of light to those who are in psychological pain. Thank you.